fellow isn't thankful for what he's got, he isn't likely to be thankful for what he's going to get. Frank A. Clark. It's important to see the beauty in what you have right here, right now. That sets your thinking for all of the good that is also coming your way. One of the positive ways that we can express our gratitude is by the acknowledging of all the many positive aspects of another person. Here to share a great project idea, and it's all about appreciation, is my friend Elizabeth Diamond. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, Tiffany. I am so grateful for this show, and I'm so excited for the message that you're bringing to the craft world and all of your loyal followers. And so I am just honored to be here today to share my message, because being grateful is about expressing your thankfulness for what it is that you have. And you can also create and attract more of what you want in your life by expressing your gratitude for it right now. And so what I designed was a project that shows my appreciation for someone or something in my life. And this one I focused on my daughter. And I decided to list all of the many reasons why I appreciate her in my life. All right, so let's get started. So what I did was, for my platform, I love to recycle. And since we're working on being inspired at home, when I like to just use common household things to use as my platform. So obviously you see here that I actually took a cardboard box and I made it into a 12 by 12 piece. And what I'm going to do here is I just cut it up, and I'm going to use the flip side because you'll see here that it's blank. And there's a little bit of a fold, but the pocket that we're going to create today is going to be really strong, so it doesn't matter if there's a crease because it will lie flat. So how I started the project was I began tearing the corners to reveal some of the corrugated cardboard in the back. And I just, if you can see, I'm tearing down and just ripping off to expose the underlying corrugated in the cardboard. And what this does is it just gives a little bit of texture and dimension, and how I use that is all the way across the top here, because the bottom half we're going to be covering in the pocket. So I tear it until I get a pattern of a little bit in the back, and you'll see here in my demo that I really only tore it around the outer edges. All right, so what I did then was I got a photo of someone that I'm appreciating. So today I'm going to appreciate my other daughter, and you'll see that at the end I'm going to create tags where I actually anchor in all the many things that I am thankful about her and that I appreciate, so that if for whatever reason, if someday I'm not feeling myself, or let's say I find myself focusing on what's going wrong, or I'm going into fear or worry, I can come back and I can read all of the many wonderful reasons why I appreciate her. And that helps you get back into alignment with feeling good and seeing the beauty in all things. Okay, so all I did on this cardboard was I mixed up a bunch of paints. I just took some basic acrylic paint, and I just work really quick. So I just kind of pour it on, I slap it down, and and I just do whatever, because I work very quickly here. And I mixed some paints up, and then what I did was I took some crackle paint, any kind of crackle paint works, and then I coated it. And what's really great about working really quick to anchor in your thoughts and ideas is that you can use the paint as a glue, so it doesn't matter. So my next technique is, how did I create this pocket right here to hold these tags? And you'll see here that this is actually a pocket that I put into this piece that I have the tags slipping in and out. And I want to show you how I did this. All right, so I get some water. You get your preferred paper, and what I did was I cut a scallop. I followed the pattern of the circles, and then I put some holes in there for added interest. You get some thick molding paste, and what I do is I kind of distress the edges of the paper beforehand with my fingernail, and then I'm going to completely crumple up this paper, and then I'm going to stick it in my water, and I'm going to wait till the fibers break down. And the longer it sits, the more the paper will break down. So if your paper is thin to begin with, you're not going to want to put it in the water all that long. This paper is somewhat thick, so I'm going to leave it in here until it gets nice and flexible. And I love this because it gives it that distressed vintage look. And as I pull this out, I'm still squishing it, and the more it, to me, the more it tears, the more it crinkles, the more interesting it gets. So I'm really going to just work on distressing it here. And so what I did was, this is a double-sided pattern paper, and it doesn't matter if it tears, because what we're going to do is we're going to take our molding paste. You're going to get a chopstick. All right, well, I have chopstick. Oh, here it is. I see it. It hid. It's hiding from me. And what I'm going to do is you just scoop up a big glop of paint, of the molding paste, and you just cover this top layer. We're not doing the underneath because this is going to be an actual pocket. And you just dop it up really nice and thick. And then what I did was I take to create like a little ridge in the fold, I put in, and I just turned up the edges here and held that in, and used the molding paste to kind of give it a lift, and it's going to dry really firm. And so it creates dimension, it creates texture, and then if you want to tone down the color of your paper, if you feel like it's too bright, you can use some glaze. I love working with glaze because you can really distress the papers and give it a more of an aged or vintage look. Now this is going to dry, and it's going to become really firm, and then all you do then is if you want to embroider or you want to hand sew, I sewed it with the sewing machine along the outer edges, the bottom, and up, and you leave the top open for a pocket. But you see that this, you can see where I have the chopstick in there folded over, and it creates this nice little lip. And then the next step of this project is then to get some shipping tags, or you can make some that are your own, and write down all of the many positive aspects of the person that you're appreciating, or what it is that you already appreciate about them. And so you get into that really good feeling state of opening your heart, feeling really grateful. You write it down, you anchor it in, and then you have this wonderful wall hanging that you're then hanging up as a reminder. And not only that, but your daughter or whoever it is that you're appreciating, or maybe it's something that you're appreciating. It could be anything from, maybe you want to appreciate your computer because it's giving you problems and you want it to work well. And sometimes when we express our appreciation for material things, we can actually gravitate those and attract those into our lives as well. So it's just about looking for something around you in which you can express your appreciation for its beauty, and then the beauty of expressing your gratitude and appreciation for that which you already have and that which you see beauty in begins to grow and expand, and then all of a sudden you're seeing beauty everywhere around you. And I just want to show you how I adhered Tiffany's fabulous Cool to Craft pieces real quick. And this one has a little Inspire metal piece in it. And what I'm going to do is I use StazOn, and I'm using just a Stampin' Up! Stamp in it. I'm going to center the heart around it because it's all about heart, coming from the heart, doing it off center right there. And then I used I used the Distress ink to kind of go around the edges to make a frame, you know, get it real dark around the edges to make it stand out, direct to the tile itself. And then I'm taking my paintbrush that I had earlier, which I slopped all that red paint on, and I'm just taking a little bit of the red paint, and I'm going to paint in here in the middle part of the heart. All right? And then I'm going to use some shimmers paint, and this is a really sparkly, glossy kind of paint, and I'm just going to paint over it to give it a sheen and a sparkle, like in it, and it looks glazed when it's done. So there's many wonderful things that you can do to these tiles that I just love, because the sky's the limit. And I'm really grateful, Tiffany, for your sharing these Cool to Cast products with me. And once again, I'm just so grateful to be able to share my message, to show people how to appreciate something that is so very important and meaningful in their lives, and how to align with a state of gratitude by coming back to the projects, using their art as a tool to get back into alignment in a positive, feel-good state.